G'day everybody, how you going today? It is so good to see you, and we have this very special live stream, and I'm opening here with an image from the brand new 24 to 70 f2.8s version 2. And joining me in today's episode, which you will see him in a minute, at the moment we're just going to adore this amazing image and the quality out of this lens. We're staring into the sun. And I couldn't find the flare in this image. This is how amazing this new 24 to 70 is. But we're here with Mr. Joe. Joe, how are you today? It is very good to see you. I will flick. I'm going to flick over to you so people can actually see you waving. Okay, they can see you waving now. And excellent. I need to. Oh, I've got Seth's comment there. I've got to get that off the screen, or he'll get angry at me. Whoops. There we go. G'day, Roger. Yes, exactly. Hit the button on the way in, everyone. You know, the gabbing about the latest glass will be epic. Thank you, Roger. We really appreciate that. And it is a hi from Ray as well. And also everyone else in the chat. There's 10 of us here so far. It's so fantastic to have you. I know it's a little bit late for our friends in the Americas, but this is the worldwide launch of this lens. And just to kick things straight off, here it is. There it is. This amazing little lens, which we're going to talk about a whole lot more in this very special episode. Yes, and Markman is asking one of the first questions that perhaps some of us have asked. And Joe, I'd like your thoughts on this. Markman is asking, why not a 28 to 70 f2 though? Do you have any thoughts on that, Joe?
Well, I do, because
talk to me.
Look, for me, the 24 to 70 2.8, this little beast here, is about the size limit for me that I'm happy with to carry around for 8 hours when I'm shooting. If I was doing studio work or I was doing something like that, I'd be happy to carry around a heavier lens. I would love a 24 or 28 to 70 f2, no doubt. That'd be amazing. But the more that I'm getting older and the weaker I'm getting, size is kind of a bit of a concern for me as far as weight. So for one stop, yeah, look, I'm very happy with the 24 to 70 f2.8, and the quality of the images that you showed in the video would justify the trade-in or the purchase, even from this lens, which is a great lens, to the new one that's just been released. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts, Matt? What do you think about this surprise release? Well, it's not a surprise to you. You've known for a while. But what do you think about this surprise release versus, let's say, an F2 that I know that a lot of people would be calling for?
Well, there's lots to say. Firstly, I want to say hi to Roger, to Ray, to Markman, to Niraj, Craig, Bob, James, and Cars and Cubes. It's great to have you here this afternoon. And if you were sitting there watching this, say hi. I know there's 32 people watching us. Please say hi in the comments. Please give us a like. This is a very special live stream today to talk about the brand new 24 to 72.8 version 2, which was a surprise for everyone, including me. But can I tell you, it's an extraordinarily, and pleasant is not a good enough word, it's an awesome surprise. And look, the reason from my perspective that they created this lens, and we will go through this. Whoops, Joe, your camera's just turned off or something. It's back. Woo!
Yeah.
Living the dream.
None of this is happening. Yeah, great.
If you know, there are at least 10 data points, and they're all really serious data points about speed, about image quality, about weight. Like, for example, this is the lightest of all brands, 24 to 70 f2.8. It's the lightest. Now, I don't know. I don't think we necessarily expected that from Nikon, but not only have they given us, and, you know, Joe, just before we came on, Joe was watching the video and he said, these images look like prime lens images. And that's why they brought it out, because not only, I mean, some people talk about having a prime lens aperture, and that's what, you know, even an f2 is not really a prime lens aperture. You know, you go 1.8, 1.4, 1.2 for that. But this is giving you prime lens quality, which to me is just ridiculously important. And we're going to be going through some of the images whilst we talk about this stuff. but it's just it's lighter, it's smaller. It's smaller when it's at 70 mil than the other one. It's very slightly larger when it's at 24 mil. It's quieter. Like they've made it half as quiet. They've added, and this is something that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about. They've added a clickable aperture, Joe. Like, is this the first one? Is this the first one for a Z? And I reckon this is a sign of things to come. Here we go. Here's the click. Can you hear it?
Of course.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, I can hear it.
And so to have a clickable and declickable aperture is something that, you know, some people are going to be really, really excited about. So there's just lots of things. And another thing that's a real big one for me, and this is me talking about the 10 things that are actually genuinely better. Like, watch what happens when I zoom. Now, Joe, I want you to grab your lens and I want you to zoom yours at the same time. Watch what happens when Joe's zooms. Look at that. Look at the difference.
But not just on this lens. If we go to a comparable, like people want another comparison, this is the 24 to 120. Have a look at how much this zooms in comparison. Look at that. That's the 24 to 120 compared to the so look, it's a big step forward. A lot of people are going to say, you know, what advantage if we're shooting in conditions that aren't not inclement weather. There's gimbal considerations. There's all sorts of things that happen when you've got a zoom that's internal, aside from just weather sealing.
Niraj has asked, what's the advantages? Well, I can think of 3 off the top of my head. So it's sealing from weather and grit and everything, but also when you have and I've got my copy here of my old 24 to 70. These are more vulnerable. If that's out and you whack it on something, that is going to be more vulnerable than something that is a whole housing. You're an engineer, Joe. There's absolutely no way that this is going to be tougher than one that's all sealed. So it's tougher in general. And then, of course, what they've done, which is part of this, is on a gimbal balancing. What Nikon have said is somehow, even when you zoom, it doesn't change the balance of the lens. And I was out there with the little Ronin 4, and I was going between 24 and 70, and the Ronin didn't seem to care at all. So, yeah, no, it's the real deal.
Well, I recall most of the early videos that we shot together when I was with you were with the 24 to 70 on the front of the Z6 and then subsequently the Z9. So the 24 to 70 was always the go-to camera on the go-to lens on the gimbal, just because of flexibility. And I was shooting that on the RS2 Pro or the RS3 Pro, that gimbal, which is a great unit. But even on that unit, you had to, when you were doing the balance of the gimbal, you had to kind of put the lens in the middle, let's say 40, 45 mil, balance it at that point. So you knew that when you were zooming into 70 mil or going wide to 24 mil, it didn't affect the gimbal adversely. So it actually really makes a big difference, not only in the balance of the gimbal, but also where the weight is. When we zoom with this type of lens, it extends the weight forward, so you end up getting more of a turning moment on your camera when you've got glass and heavy elements moving forward, compared to what you're saying with this new lens, which you've said that you can't feel a transition in weight when you're zooming. Is that true?
No. Yeah. I mean, let's do it here together. There's the lens. I mean,
yeah.
I can feel absolutely nothing. It feels like there's no change at all. Yeah.
One of the other things I noticed.
Let's do the same thing with this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's a lever.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously going. I mean, but we can see, Joe. We can see inside this lens that it is moving, which means I don't know if you can see that on camera. Let me get my face out of the way.
Just send one across. Send one across to me. Just send one across to me in person.
There you go. You can see that.
I'll have a look in person.
Yeah. I'll just throw it. You're only 30 kilometers away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely moving in there. So, as I say in the video, there's probably some sort of counterbalance system within the lens that's making it happen. A few more highs. A high from Andrew, Daniel, Photogenius. Good to see you. When are you going to come and visit Melbourne? You've been talking about it for a long time. It's time, buddy. It's time. Ray is saying, I do like the internal focusing, which is why I kept the F mount. Craig is wow. Totally agree with you. Wow, it's Craig. It is a total wow. Sorry, let me move. Those titles are over your face, Joe. That's very inappropriate of me. Let me.
I can't see.
Just try. Yeah, you've got to watch the live stream to see that.
Should I go?
No, go the other way. Go the other way. Go the other way. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
No, not that far. Maybe tilt down a little bit. Yes, Craig was saying he was hoping for internal zooming. James is saying, oh my, a clickable aperture, finally. Woo! Exactly, James. We're so excited about it. John has said, does it gather... Now I have to move that comment because it's a big one. Oh, there we go. Sit up straight, Joe, then we'll be able to still see you. Does it gather the same amount of light, considering Nikon has gone from an 82 to 77? I like having the door for the... Yeah, of course it gathers the same sort of light. It has a completely new optical design. If you jump into my video, maybe somewhere around the 5-minute mark, you can actually see how different the optical design. There's literally less elements in the lens. And what's amazing about whatever they're doing is they've increased the quality of the lens, but they've made the optical formula less complicated. So lots of elements doesn't necessarily mean perfection. And I suppose you can go and talk to Leica about that, where they have some of the smallest lenses with very few elements, yet considered some of the best glass. So yes, absolutely, it's optically even better. The comments are flying in. I'm absolutely loving it. External zooms have always made me cringe in dusty environments, says Paul. Totally agree with you, Paul. It's a thing. John has said further to his previous comment, the 24 to 72.8 is my go-to workhorse, but lately when I'm in low light, I go to the 35. Yeah, look, the 35 1.2 is, I mean, how many stops difference is that? It's like it's almost 2.5 stops difference. That's crazy.
Craig's asking a good question. Is the aperture ring also the control ring, but clickable when used as an aperture ring? Can you turn that clicking on and off?
I sure can. There's the switch.
Yes. And do you know if you... But you can switch that across to another control ring for ISO or anything like that, can't you?
Oh, yeah, it still does all the same things. So you can have a clickable ISO ring if you so desire. Which, why not? Live that dream. Now, James is asking, hi, Matt, what lens are you shooting on? On my phone, I can't work out how to get... No, I'm not on a phone. I'm on the Z30, and I've got a Viltrox 2025 or something. I can't quite remember, and it's behind a screen so that I can look at you. So I'll let you know in the comments below. Now, Roger's asking a question. Just watched your video on the lens. Looks beautiful. Do you think the design elements of this second version of the 24 to 70 will be replicated in updates to the other... Look, there's no question that Nikon have worked very hard to make this faster. So it's got those... there's another thing I forgot to say. It's got the more powerful Silky Swift focus motors in it, which makes it just super duper crazy fast. I mean, 5 times faster is significant. And that technology, I believe, was only in lenses like the 400 2.8 and the 600 maybe f4, the really super high-end expensive lenses. So to see it come down from a lens that's, doesn't cost the same as a car, that's pretty exciting. Yes. So the answer to your question is yes. I think they must have learned a lot of things from making this lens. There are so many advancements that I would expect it. And the interesting thing to me about the 70 to 200 is the Z70 to 200 to me was not that different to the FLED, the last F lens, which was one of the very last lenses made. So I think there are some advancements that could most certainly come for the 70 to 200, and I don't know. The 14 to 24 2.8 that we have is already lighter. Maybe that was already part of. I don't know, but it's an extraordinary lens as it stands. I'm not sure how much smaller or lighter they could make that one, but I feel like there's some wriggle room with the 70 to 200. Yes. Sorry,
Kumar was just mirroring a comment that we made earlier about that. He usually buys primes. He's not professional, but this would be a great travel lens, and I agree with that. The fact that it's a 2.8, not an f4 like the 24 to 120, makes it quite a good travel lens, because you're shooting in the dark as well. Don't need primes. You can have this lens live on your camera, and the only thing I would do is, if I was traveling, is I'd have a second lens, probably a longer lens, maybe a 70 to 180, which is the lighter of the longer zooms in that trilogy. So yeah, what do you think, Matt? Travel lens?
Yeah, well, it's funny because I'm going away soon, and I was thinking, I wonder if I can get a copy to take away. And then I was thinking, look, the two lenses. This is going to maybe seem strange to some people. The two lenses that I took to Japan were the Plena and the 24 to 120. So, and why did I do that? Why does that make any sense? Well, you've got one lens which is it's quite an all-rounder, that 24 to 120, and as we know, it's optically fantastic. And the Plena was kind of like, this is how I get my short depth of field, and often when you're traveling, you want to get things a long way away. I would totally take a 24 to 72.8 away. It's just you've got to then ration your weight. It's like... Let me know in the comments below, which body should I take? Which body should you take when you go overseas? Like, it's the Z8, because I think I took the Z8 and they took the Z8 and the ZF, I'm pretty sure, when I went to Japan. So, two bodies, two lenses, and that was it.
Bright Lantern's asking if the lens is parfocal.
I didn't test that. I'm so sorry. There's so many things to test. So what
are you doing with your
apologies.
time?
Yeah, I know. I should have just stayed at my desk and just talked about it, shouldn't I? Yes. Sorry, we've got a few more questions. A question from Andrew. What do you think about Nikon designing a 35 to 85 2.8, which would be more of a portrait? Yeah. Look. There's the pretty cool Tamron 35 to 150 f2 to 2.8, and seeing as they've been able to make that lens, there would be no problem making a 35 to 85, maybe even an f2. Why not, Andrew? Let's go there. That sounds like a good one.
So of course, Andrew, the original 35 to 85 lenses that Nikon came out, the f-mount lenses, started in 1961. They had so the early lenses that Nikon had, which are those mid-zoom professional lenses, were actually 35 to 85. They were 3.5s though. I mean, we're talking 60 years ago, and it wasn't until the 24 to 70s came out in 2007 was the first version as a 2.8. So originally, what Andrew's saying is true. The early lenses started out at 35, but look, I welcome the wider field of view anyway of the 24, and if you need something that's street, that you want that extended range up to 85, then you could go all the way up to 120, and the 24 to 120 is, for daytime photography at least, is a supreme, beautiful lens. Yep.
You can work at night. You've got your amazing in-body image stabilization, and you can crank your ISOs. Now, I'm just Joe. I'm just throwing a few images from Capture One up onto the screen for everyone to look at. Here, for example, just talking about low shutter speeds. This is 0.4 of a second, so basically half a second, give or take. That's what half a second looks like. And if we go into pixel for pixel, totally sharp, half a second. I'm at 47 mil. This is something like, let me have a look at the metadata here, but I think it's something like, 6:23. So that's something like 40 minutes after sunset. And I mean, it's to me as a traveler to be able to get that sort of shot, and you're just cruising around, amazing. Just totally amazing. Yeah. Beautiful. Please, any questions about the lens or about what it's capable of, just throw a QQQ below, and we will keep talking about it. Andrew is saying, whoops, what did I do there? I did something bad. No, I didn't. It's all good. We're still live, aren't we, Joe? No, I'm only joking.
Yeah.
Andrew says, I have my Dalesford family visiting in September, looking forward to visiting Victoria again in the not too... You must, and we'll have a coffee. Please do. Andrew has a question. What do you think about Nikon? Oh, no, we've gotten that one. I'm not keeping up with the stream, am I? I am not.
There is another question. I can't pronounce the name because it's in characters. I used to get a bit stressed by vignetting on previous versions of the lens. Do you know if the lens, the new lens, has improved that?
Well, here we are. We can have a look. This is the lens. We are looking at the lens right here. These are images from this new lens, and if you look into the corners, Joe, has that arrived for you yet on your live stream?
Yeah, the image of the still of the Docklands,
yeah.
of
So
the
I
boat
would
builders,
say
yeah.
I would say that it's got a very minor amount, and there's no correction. And of course, we can, if you know, it's not a big deal. Vignetting is not a big deal in this day and age. There I have hardly moved it, and I think that makes the difference. I don't know if you probably won't have seen that yet. So, yes, there might be an absolutely minor amount. It's something that doesn't really bother me, and I don't really think about it because it's so easy to address. And obviously that's over-addressing it right there. Makes it look like you've got some fluoro lighting around the edge of your frame. We've got a whole lot of more questions. Yep.
Yeah, Jeffrey's asking if you think they'll redo the whole Trinity.
Yeah, well, that's a similar question to what Andrew asked, and I look, I have a feeling that the 14 to 24 to me feels like it was a more advanced. It was a more advanced version than the previous one that we had, and so less likelihood of that one. I've got double comments up here somehow. Go me! I'm living the dream. How am I doing that? Oh, that's weird. Anyway, and as I said just before, I feel like the 70 to 200 was closer to the FLED. So yes, there's wriggle room in there. So that's what I think. I think it's less likely for the 14 to 24, more likely for the 70 to 200. Which, interestingly, is already an extraordinary lens, and you and I both agree the 24 to 70 current one was an extraordinary lens, but somehow this is just so much better on absolutely every front. Jeff also asks, might consider this to add to my F4S. Not sure if it's a travel lens. Yeah, I mean it's light. It's kind of light enough. It's 675 grams, so it's not heavy. That's for sure.
You know what? But you know what makes it a travel lens? If you own the lens and you don't own any of the zooms like the 24 to 120 or the 24 to 200. That's what makes this a travel lens. If you actually own it, then that's the one you're taking.
Gotcha. The camera you have and the lens you have is the best one. Totally agree. Roger says, I live with the 24 to 120 on many shoots. If only Nikon could update these to new designs, that would fly off the shelf. Well, I know by looking at map camera, and I'm pretty sure from the Greys, the current 24 to 120, which is a great lens, sells really well. I agree. And me and my dear friend, Mr. Seth Miranda, we talk a lot, and he talks a lot about his desire for a 24 to 120 or a 24 105 2.8. Wouldn't we all love that? Now that would be a cool lens. Imagine it's a lens like this, but you get that extra reach, and it's at 2.8. So that's another possibility. Now, someone is saying that the lens, the US price came in at $2,800. So my guess, because I didn't know, was $27.99 to $29.99. So I'm glad I got in the range. Just yeah.
Can I ask? Can we bring it back a step? And
yes,
there may be some people watching. There may be some people watching that don't know where the 24 to 70 lenses fit in your professional arsenal. So where does this lens fit into when you're going out on your shoot? Is it something that you reach for? What's the use of this lens for you? And where does it fit? And why is it important? And what makes it part of the Holy Trinity? If you understand where I'm getting at.
Yeah, for sure. So professional photographers, depending on what type of shooting you do, it will determine which lenses you take with you. So recently I did some lifestyle and library work. In other words, this school was getting together a library of images to have for their social media and whatever else. And I shot with all primes. So that was the 35, the 50, the 85, and the 135. I took all four of those lenses. I was shooting on three bodies, and that just gave me the most deluxe look that you can possibly get. But when I shoot in an event, and when I used to shoot weddings, 100% it's all about speed. And that'll often be, but not always, but it'll often be a 24-70 and a 70-200. That's the classic. And then you'll have the wide angle in the bag that you throw on your camera just to get the environmental shot to go, hey, this was the room and this was the 500 people. And you can shoot that at 16 mil, and then, you'll do something like that. So, but I have to tell you, Joe, you and I, we love our primes, and the majority of images that you saw in this video, we go out and shoot on primes. It's certainly easier to shoot on a zoom. It's certainly, there's a slightly less walking and moving, because I will change my frame just a tiny amount, and it completely changes the story. And so I will still use my feet, but sure, a zoom makes street easier. But I just really enjoy the primes for my style of photography, which is often short depth of field. Yeah, so that's where it fits in my world. I mean, there's lots of other use cases, of course, but once you've been kicking around this industry as long as I have been, you've almost got a lens for every single different thing. whereas when I started, I had a 28 to 210 Chiron lens, and that was it. Yes. I had a single lens. So, it's nice how things change.
These were my two lenses, Matt. I had the 70-200 2.8 G, and also the 17-55 2.8 the DX version, because I was shooting on a D200 and a D300, or D200 early on, and the 17-55 2.8 was the same field of view, of course, as the 24-70 is full frame. So yeah. Look, one of the things I noticed, can you hold up that lens again? Because it looks like the zoom. Yeah, it is. The zoom ring is a much wider band than the previous version of the 24-70, which I kind of like.
Because part of the last bit of your lens you can't use to put anything on, and that's why. So they've literally got a little bit more space, which is nice to have a bigger ring. So there you go. There's the 11th amazing new feature. Bigger ring. How good's that?
Yeah, okay. I did see some questions. Sorry, I did see some
Paul is
questions
asking, did you ever notice any coma? I haven't noticed any coma. And I plan to get all of the 24-70, all of them out, and do set up a test rig and shoot them all at once. And I'll try and include shooting something, some stars. So yes, I haven't noticed. I mean, I say in the video, I think it's really close to perfect, and it is really close, really, really close to perfect. Keep going, Joe.
Oh, look, someone I saw, I can't remember who had asked. I'm sorry. A few people had about whether or not you're going to miss the little LCD screen here.
Yeah, well, Joe's got the LCD screen. Show that up, and then this is the new one. It doesn't have it, and instead it has a button. Now, my guess is, with no formal input, and that button that is there is just to turn the display on. I'm guessing that the feedback was that just people don't need it enough, so they decided to remove it. I use it a little bit on the lenses that have it, but plenty of my lenses don't have it, and it doesn't really bother me either way. I'm pretty easygoing about it. I think it's a bit of a bonus.
Yeah.
So
I've got a couple of questions in the meantime, or a couple of comments as well. You said the lens is 500% faster. Is that
Yep.
is that 500% faster at like initial acquisition of a subject, or is it just generally faster all round? Can you talk to that a little bit?
Yep, I can. I'm just. Would you believe Rishi's jumped in my WhatsApp and he's talking to me? So I'm just saying hi. I'm sure everyone else who's watching would say hi to Rishi as well, because we miss you, my friend. We miss you. I'm just asking him a question,
Well,
which we may or may not find out
well,
the
look,
answer to. So,
Okay, well-
from the best of my understanding about the speed of the autofocus, it's everything. So, it's a movement from A to B, coupled with the XP7, coupled with, again, the first lens that's not over $10,000 to have it's literally got a sensor built in the lens, so it knows exactly where the focus elements are, so it can be more accurate.
Right.
And again, that's technology that they've brought. I know it's in the 400 2.8. I'm not sure which other lenses it's in as well.
Yep.
And so not only is it physically faster, but it's going to make less decisions. How do I say this the right way?
So
The decisions are more accurate that it makes, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
It's not going to bounce back and forth so much. And look,
Yes.
not that the other one really did, but even
No.
so, if you're saying even if it did bounce the exact same amount, the fact that it's doing it 5 times faster is an enormous improvement. So, but you're saying that that's kind of out the door anyway because of this.
Well, I think that sensor is
that's in the
about.
lens.
What's interesting to me is obviously an electrical current is applied to the magnets to make it move, right? And
Yep.
there's probably, like a maglev train, there's probably a little bit of give in that. And we're talking microns or, hundredths of millimeters, I presume. When they can actually measure it, and it might be some sort of IR measurement, they're just bouncing a laser off it and they literally have down to the micron, then they just say stop now it hasn't been explained to me how it works other than there's a sensor that does it. And look, that's only got to help, I would have thought. We have Jorg
I think-
or Jorg saying, I love my 24 to 72.8 for my photojournalism work along with my Nikon 70 to 200 VR2. Yes, it's a great lens. I love that lens as well. Sorry, Joe, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say...
Good night,
even with
Ray, by the way.
Good night. Oh, Ray, great seeing you, and good night if you're heading off.
Yeah.
I was going to say that even with a lens that isn't a wildlife lens, I think people underestimate the value of having such a fast lens. Not that the original 24 to 70 wasn't fast as far as focusing speed, but I think that when you're at an event and someone, let's say you're at a wedding and someone has turned, you see the side profile of their face, the lighting's perfect. You want to be able to rest assured that when you fire off that shutter, that it's going to be in focus quickly, not that it's going to take a quarter of a second or half a second. So I think that that 500% faster is probably something that may be lost on people saying, oh well, the old lens is fast enough anyway, because these events are all about they're all about moments and capturing moments in time. So yes, we know it's important for sports and it's important for wildlife, but I think events and fashion and all that type of stuff as well, it's also really important.
Absolutely. John's asked, am I using the Arcrest 2? No, I haven't put any filter on it yet, but based on my experience with those filters, which I will get that comparison out soon. I'm so sorry. It's taking forever. Based on my usage of these lenses, these filters so far, there's negligible, if any, difference having the filter on or not having it on from an image quality perspective. So, but I will actually prove it to myself and to everybody else. Craig is saying, no, I will not miss the little LCD screen. I use the one on the 105 sometimes, but rarely. Much rather have the function button for vertical shootings. Yeah, very good point.
Yeah, Roy Bixby is saying that the 24 to 70, the version 1 of this is such a fantastic lens that it's hard to imagine improvements. And I kind of feel the same, although when I saw your images, there are images that you showed in your video that I know just aren't even possible with regard to particularly fringing up against, there was the photo that you had of the light reflecting off the top of that tall building. And I know that the 20, yeah, that'd be great, because I know that the 24 to 70 would actually, the original one, you would get some fringing there, because, and some, what I appreciate, Matt, is you've made the video, and I've shot in exactly the same conditions in a lot of those exact same areas, because we've been out together shooting with the original lens, and you can just clearly see the improvements. It does look prime-like, so yep.
Yeah, well, I've got that image you're talking about up on the screen now, and there's just no sign of purple fringing. Doesn't matter how far we zoom in, it's just simply not there, which is pretty crazy. And the other image I wanted to talk about was, well, there's a few. Is this one? The sun. There is 2 sun points. One in the water, which is pretty much almost as bright as the one in the sky. There is almost no flare. Maybe I've just noticed down the bottom here there might be a slightest amount of flare, but that also could be maybe the slightest smear on the front of the lens. I'm not sure, but honestly, for it to be controlling, and I presume you can see that image now, Joe, for it to be controlling all of the aberration points, all of the flare points, and that is the sun. That is the sun about, I don't know, an hour before sunset. That's a cracker. And I just want to show you also, everybody, just how far the dynamic range is on this sensor, which is the Z8. So that's the file. That's the file out of the box, and then you can get this out of it. So you've got great dynamic range. Nothing's falling apart. It's just tremendous. Like it's when you're doing this for a living and you're doing it for a client. And if I was going down to shoot this building because someone wants to buy an apartment there, and you're doing it for the real estate agent, and for you to be able to tell that story, that you can have the sun in the frame, there's the sunset, there's the Balti Bridge in the background, there's the marina, here's where you might live on the 12th floor, and you can get all of that. This is one frame. Like, this is not HDR, this is not 3 frames. And it just, you get back to your desk, you edit this file. There's nothing to do. Like, you don't have to clean it up, and you send it off. And that's what it's all about. It's making the professional's life, and anyone else who wants to use this lens, not just professionals, but it certainly makes the professional's life easier. You can certainly see how good those verticals are looking. And of course, this is a new lens, and I very much doubt that Capture One knows anything about this lens. So it's not correcting. It can't correct anything in this lens right now. So that's also pretty amazing. There would be no profile for it yet. As John is saying, he's saying the lines are really nice and straight. Yeah, it's bananas. And so it's all these little things that are really important things. Like they are really important. Look, this is just a shot that I like.
And the rendering looks beautiful on all the photos you've shown. It looks, I don't know what to say. It just looks, these look like jigsaw puzzle photos. That's almost offensive. But these photos...
You can go now, Joe.
These photos are so beautifully rendered. And I know that, there's a lot of editing skill, and there's a lot of... photographic technique and street craft and photocraft, but can you compare? Just I know you haven't done a side to side video yet, which
coming soon.
I'm looking forward to when you do that. But do you have any comments about the rendering of these shots?
Oh yeah, I mean, to me the rendering is so lovely. And I say it in the video, like, it's so close to perfect. I don't really like the word clinical. For some reason, I accidentally used it in the video. Didn't really want to, but I did. And I didn't have time to re-record. But it means that you can take it in any direction from there. Like, look at this image. This is a pylon, a log that's holding up the pier, and in the background is the Balti Bridge, and we're able to get, like, this is in camera short depth of field, right? In camera short depth of field. This is real. This is in camera. So for me to be able to achieve that with a zoom lens, and it's also perfect, it's also straight. There's no aberrating. I don't know what else to say. It just means you can just worry about the image, whatever you want the image to be, because you don't have to worry about all the other stuff. Yeah. So just to get to that level, I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but it's just that good. Like, here's a close-up shot. This is a starfish that's probably only about the size of my hand, to give you an idea of how close you can get. I think it was 24 centimeters when you're at 24 mil and 30 centimeters off the top of my head. Just beautiful. Just a beautiful level of sharpness. I mean, have a look how, how sharp that is. And we're at 2.8. So this is where the focus is further back. So everything gets into focus. Just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know how long to keep going through images for. Let me know in the comments whether you like looking at these images and whether you have any questions or want to talk more about the images. But again, I just want to reiterate, this is half a second handheld, looks superb. And, I'm shooting at base ISO and it's 40 minutes after sunset. I'm just having a look at some of the comments here.
Yeah, Roy has commented that there are 3 things that he doesn't like about lenses: plastic mounts, variable apertures, and external focus, and this lens has none of them.
Yep. Great comment. It absolutely has none of them. Look there, and to circle back to the question that was there at the start, why release a lens that's already released? It's because they've upped the game in kind of every single variable of what you want out of a lens like this. Like everything is better. And so why not put it out? It makes sense. And it occurred to me that the image of the version 1 is still in the family photo that Nikon put out. When a new lens comes out, they put out a photo of all the lenses that they've got. It's still sitting in that photo. So that makes me think they're going to keep the version 1 going for the time being, which means you can just, you can get the 24-70 f4s, or you can get the 24-70 f2.8s, or you can get the 24-70 2.8s version 2, and they're just getting slightly better here and there in their metrics, and you just decide where you want to land. It's just absolutely fantastic stuff. John is asking, and I will just throw back to the 2 shot of us, Joe.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, there we are. And now I've got multiple comments again because I'm magic. I have to photograph groups of 5 to 8 people all the time, and the current 24-70 2.8s still distorts people on the outer edges of frame. The new 35 1.2s is pure perfection, and pure perfection for that. And that is a great point. And I can't tell you, I haven't tested that. What sort of focal length are you finding that at? All focal lengths or just at the wider focal lengths, John? Let me know, and I will try and get some form of group shot.
Daniel Dong has asked if you could put that image of the starfish up again at 100%.
Oh yeah, no worries.
If that's a possibility.
I can. Look at me go. There it is, and you will just see. Not only can... Oh, man, sorry, I'm busy looking at it and talking to myself. Let me actually let everybody look at it while I talk about it. Sorry, I got too many screens here. There's a lot of buttons to press. You can actually see short depth of field going on here. So, here in the middle, it's sharp, but it starts to kind of fall off, and that is to do with... Not to do with the lens falling off, but that is to do with depth of field. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's pixel for pixel.
All right, John has,
and that's a lot of detail.
It's usually, oh my goodness! Now it's just come up on my screen. That's incredible, Matt.
Yeah,
I had to wait 20 seconds to see because of the delay in the live stream. And yeah. That's wow. You know what?
It's pretty cool.
You almost don't have to bring the 105 macro around if you can achieve that.
Yeah, I mean, it's only if you're doing, true, little things like you want to get something like your AirPods full frames, something very, very small.
Yes.
Yes. So
John
Mark
was saying. Oh, sorry. I was going to just add to John earlier was saying that usually at the wider, at wider and at that's where it gets distortion
at
with
35
lens.
or at f3. So I'll have a look at that. I'll try and test that out and let you know. But Mark Mann has said, I feel like this was also to move towards video best of both. Yeah, look, it's a very, very good point that obviously Nikon has got extraordinary video cameras in the Z6 III, the Z8 and the Z9. They are all performers, and we're back on screen again now, Joe, just so you know,
great.
if you're in the middle of picking your nose. But you weren't. I can attest to the fact that you weren't, because I can see you. I can see you off to the side.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're
I'll behave.
Yeah, behave, baby. Oh, behave. Completely lost my train of thought. Yes, video, totally. And look, this is why I threw it on the Ronin. I threw it on the Ronin because it's like, they've made it so light. Like, this Ronin is the smallest Ronin they make. It's got a 2 kilogram payload maximum. The lens is 675 grams. You chuck whatever camera you want on there, a Z6 III or whatever, and you're at, I don't know, 1.2 kilos. You're only just over half of its maximum payload. You're shooting 6K. You're getting amazing results. You've got your Nikon RAW in there. It's fabulous, and the fact that it's balanced and so on. So I totally agree that that's another reason why they've done it is because it's better suited for video. And one other thing they've done is to make it quieter, which is better suited for video. Not that I heard it at all, right? So, and I don't really hear the other lenses, but they must be very quiet.
Yeah. Craig has asked a question again. What's the closest focal distance at 24mm and 70mm? And is it similar to the 24 to 120 with regard to close focal distance?
I don't know the 24 to 120 off by heart, but the new one is 24 centimeters at 24mm, and I think it's 30 centimeters.
Did you say 33? 33 or something in the video?
You fill for a second, and I'll actually call it up. I'll actually get real data. Please hold.
I'll fill.
Yeah, you fill. You go, Phil.
I'm trying to. Okay,
go, Phil. Come on. Can you fill? I'm busy concentrating. You need to fill.
All right.
I've got the answer, by the way, so you don't need to fill. It is 24 for 24 and 33 centimeters. You were right. You watched the video and you remembered.
Right.
33 centimeters at 70 millimeters. So it's very close. I don't know what the ratios are.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
I'm just seeing if it's written here. Please hold. Well,
would you like me to film that? Okay.
Yeah, Phil. Go, Phil.
So look, I'm just going to harp on about another lens as a part of Phil for replacing close focus and all that type of stuff. Here I have the 100 to 400, and I love this lens because I can use this lens in many cases like a macro lens, and I'm hoping that the 24 to 70. The new version is able to achieve somewhat the same. I finished filling. How was
very
that?
Good. The maximum reproduction ratio is 0.21 at wide and 0.32 times at telephoto. So it's not 1-to-1, but it's pretty multi-purpose. Well, and so what that means is you basically can get 3 times 35mm, which is not very big. It's like 10 centimeters, which is like 3 or 4 inches. To fill the frame. So that's pretty close at 70mm. I think that's a good result.
Yeah, and on a high megapixel camera, that's great. It's fantastic. Bit of cropping as well.
John is letting him know that I'm ordering it in the morning and will pay for it and it will pay for itself in less than a month. Exactly. Good work. Speaking of that, I need to get my B&H links up. Oh well, anyway, I'll do that after. It doesn't matter. So there you go, Joe. It's very, very exciting to have this lens. Do we have any more questions about this lens from those that are watching. There are 67 of us in the stream. There must be a few more questions. Here it is, whilst people are coming up with their questions. Here it is with the 24-70 f4.
Wow.
Give you an idea of the difference between the f4
Yeah.
version and the 2.8.
So is the
Pretty
weight the weight's only a little bit heavier than the 24 to 120? Is that right? Can you hold those next to each other? The 24 to 120.
They fit. They fit these. No. This is the 24-70 f4, and this is the new one.
Yeah, I'm
They
just
feel very
talking for my own
similarly
purposes.
weighted.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the question you
really?
have? I mean, this might be 500 and something grams.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what did you want to know?
How does it how does it compare to the 24 to 120 as far as dimension? Yeah.
I have it with me right here.
Yeah, almost the same. That's great.
There's not
That's
much in
cool.
it, is there? I mean, that's basically
No.
a centimeter, just over a centimeter.
Yeah. Okay. Oh well.
You might have to
spending
get
more
one,
money.
Joe. I can see the cogs turning. That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Yep.
cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Any other QQ?
Well, another thing we haven't talked about, Joe. Another thing we haven't talked about is the fact that they've
Yeah.
stuck a focus limiter on this side.
Really? That is cool.
How good's that?
That's great. Yeah, particularly for gimbal work and video work. Yeah, that's great. It's fantastic.
Also, for those that might not have watched all of the video, this says something that's going to make. Thank you, Boris, for letting us know. So the 24 to 120, Joe, is 630 grams. So there's nothing in it. There's
Okay.
45 grams difference in it.
Yeah.
For those that missed it, come on, Matt's face, get out of the way. There it is. Can you read what that says?
No.
What it says is made in Japan. Made in Japan.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool. So for people who are excited about made in Japan, made in Japan.
I wonder why. Look, it's
'Cause they-
it doesn't.
Made in Japan because they can.
That's right.
Why
Fair
not?
enough. Okay.
Yeah, Craig says, yeah, I think lots of cogs turning and doing some maths tonight. Yep. I think we're all in the same boat. So yeah, Boris has put that up there. Roy is saying, I wish they'd update the awful 24 to 200. I don't think it's that awful. Now, RGB TV, regarding the focus limiter programming, are there preset values or can the user input the focus range? Now, RGB TV, this is something that when I very first saw it, I thought, oh, wow, it's going to be completely customizable. I'll have to test that out. And I didn't because there's so many things to test out. I'm hoping that it will be able to engage the new thing that we've found in the Z8 firmware, which allows you to customize focus limiting. And my guess is that's the case because of one thing. Joe, can you tell me what the one thing that might give that away to you is?
Full and limited. Switch.
Normally they write the distances on there.
Normally
it'll say-
good. They write 1.2 meters or 6 meters or whatever. Yes.
Yeah,
True.
and then infinity.
Excellent.
So normally it's written there. It's not written there, which makes me think as more firmware rolls out and there's more than just the Z8 that has this, that it'll absolutely be customizable. And that is genius and makes perfect sense. How good to have a hardware button that's actually completely programmable like that. I just think it's very, very brilliant. So my guess is RGB. Yes, that's my guess.
John
Number
is,
18 and made in Japan.
John
Sorry, Joe?
Viscott was just... John Viscott had just put a comment there after that one that you just read about tariffs. I mean, that's going to be... It's look, it's a brutal thing. Maybe move to Canada to buy the lens. I don't. Maybe go on a holiday. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's
No, it's fair. I wonder. I wonder. Yeah, I mean, you do what all of us does. You fly to Japan, you buy some lovely new gear, and then you throw the boxes away and you put it in your camera
yeah.
bag.
Don't say that
Why
out
not?
loud. So I
No,
got
no. I
John,
only buy Pentax lenses that way.
of course.
Yeah.
Now, John, I will ask. Do you know what the tariffs are out of Japan, John, at the moment? Because although it's been given a US price listing, hasn't it, on release, hasn't it, Matt?
Someone has said it's 2,800, so maybe it would have been cheaper if it, because
Yeah.
if we got to it, I was going to talk about the fact that Nikon has stated that there will be more tariff increases coming. I suspect that this lens includes that already, because you wouldn't, because we already know they're coming. So I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if it's going to affect this particular lens.
Markman says that we need a 20 to 85 f1.8. I agree.
Yeah, well, that's the sort of
that.
lens that Joe asks for all the time. You
and a
love those sorts
wheelbarrow
of
to
lenses.
carry it in. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Can you
as
imagine?
Bobby and I invented, it's the Sherpa. It's part of the Sherpa range where you need your own Sherpa. Joe's gone now.
Yeah, I'm just getting.
You've got P written on the sign behind you.
Really? I don't know. I've actually got a. I'll just flash up in front of the camera.
No, don't flash.
No. I'm going to flash up that lens. This is the 20 to 85 1.8. This is the size of it. There you go, and that'll do.
Yep. Wow. You've got a pre-production copy. That's nice.
I'll flash it up again. There it is. There. Look at the size of it. There you go. So very small lens.
Yeah, well, but worth it. Yeah, so Craig's just confirming. Currently, it is $27.99 USD price, includes all tariffs, at least as of today. Hopefully, that does not change. He goes on to say, hopefully, these tariffs are temporary until 2028. Yes, I think a lot of people would feel that way. Is this a power zoom? Asks Markman. No, this is a traditional lens that you zoom with your hand, and Nikon will stick the PZ moniker in front of it if they're deciding to make it a power zoom, and thus it's not. Question from A Slot. Hey A Slot, how you doing? It's great to have you here. Can the price go down over time? Yes, absolutely. What we tend to see is on launch, we have launch price, and then depending on where you are in the world, prices can vary between 10 and 20%. Here in Australia, we have very aggressive retailers, so it can just shift around all the time. And in other parts of the world, they just have promotions that seem to run once or twice or three times a year, where there's significant discounts happening. So, yeah, if you don't buy on launch, you'll be able to get it cheaper than it is today. And I also would say that there is reputable secondhand markets as well that are worth considering, and there'll always be people that buy these things and then decide they don't want it. There's people like that. They're impulsive people. Now, Rocky Spotter, g'day Rocky Spotter. Great to have you here today. Haven't seen you. I'm loving that name. I haven't seen you on the channel before. DigiDirect in Australia has it at 4,599 AUD, but they do have a sale price on it for around 3,900. So they've already discounted it.
Already
$700. Joe, you should give Mark a call.
I'll give him a call. I'll offer him cash. We'll see if we can get it even cheaper.
Call him now. We'd love to hear that phone call live. That would be good. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No peer group pressure.
I was reaching for the phone. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. No, well, you're very welcome. I think it'd be a funny call. I think it'd be great. It's like, hi, Mark. How you going? We're just live streaming at the moment. What's the best price you can give him? This is great advertising for DigiDirect.
I won't tell anyone.
A little bit lower. We'll talk about it. We'll say DigiDirect 4 more times. Anyway, Boris is saying, as a comparison, the new NIKKOR is 20 grams lighter than the equivalent Sony and 225 lighter than the equivalent Canon. This is like, I'm really excited to see that Nikon, people have talked about lenses too big, too heavy. Doesn't really bother me that much, but it's something that lots of people are happy to see a change in. And well, they're taking it to the competition. They have gone lighter than both of their two largest competitors. So, yes, thank you, Boris, so much for sharing that information. Very much appreciate it. And what a result! What a result to make such a beautiful lens that is an amazing tool and bring it in as the lightest in the market. It is and as I said in my video, it is the lightest in the world, full frame, 24 to 70, 2.8. Boom, boom.
So next, do you think there's Roy brings up that he'd like Nikon to make a 10 to 20 mil like Canon does while we're talking about other lenses, other manufacturers.
Sure. Let's do it.
Do you think Do you think Nikon will go that way to go an ultra wide zoom, 10 to 20 mil? Or
I think everything. I think everything will be on the table eventually. Everything that you can think of will come. I think. Put it down, Joe. Put it down. Walk away from the vehicle. There's nothing to see here. No, I think any lens that you can think of will exist. Just think of a 5-year time horizon, and
yep.
I can't remember which commenter made the point about this. Being great also for video. That's part of what's, I suppose, driving a dual agenda to get out products that not only service photographers, which this services photographers just hand over fist, but it actually services videographers as well. So, what do we think? What do we think might be good next for videographers? And I'm not sure I have the answer to that. I'd love people to talk about that in the comments. That'd be super cool. We do have a comment from Soyash. Do you think Nikon could have put the R&D into a 28 to 200 f2 rather than the existing? Yeah, we didn't really touch on that lens. We touched on why this lens. So let's touch on why that lens. I think it's totally valid to also have that lens as part of the kit. And my guess, like those lenses are even more expensive. And if I was to bet, I would say a lens in that category is 2 to 3 years away. That's just a bet, because you're not going to put it out too close to this lens now that this lens has just come out, would be my guess. Although you might, because it's a completely different beast, and it's, I don't know, 60% more, even more expensive, because it's so amazing. Now, because we have the Z mount, it might be a 24 to 70 f2. I've never used either of the Sony or the Canon one, but I think I've heard that the Canon one is, and please, anyone who knows, let me know in the comment, is not super sharp wide open, but people seem to love the Sony one. So Nikon will do it when they can do it right. I think it will come. I don't disagree that it'd be great to have, but it will be big, it will be expensive. I mean, that's just what these things are going to be.
Yeah. Look, Matt, I just want to draw your attention to probably the most profound comment that we've had so far by Bigfoot Ultra Running. Just got the planner and managed to stay married. I mean, look, well done. That's
I missed that comment. I'm so sorry, Bigfoot.
That's quite the feat.
We've
look, as the Nikon community, we're very proud of your accomplishment, your achievement. That's quite the statement. So well done.
And Bigfoot and Joe, I'm proud of you both for bringing this out publicly and allowing us all to share our journey through you, right. Bigfoot. Congratulations.
Bigfoot,
what's the first thing you're going to shoot?
Well,
you can let us know.
Is your wife watching the live stream as well? So that.
I hope so.
Hopefully she does. She's not subscribed to Matt. Look, sorry, Matt. This is for the good of the Nikon community.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
RGTV. All we really want is a 35mm 0.95 with autofocus. Look, I can see at least 0.1 lenses coming, and maybe 0.95. I don't know how much of a difference there is between it. They made the Noct. That was the launch lens. There's plenty of space now for. Maybe the next 50mm won't be a 51.2. Maybe they'll make something even more crazy. Like, you never know. It's so exciting. Anything could happen. A tilt shift. Yeah, good point, Craig.
Yeah, I agree with Craig. I actually, I saw. Have you seen the F to Z tilt shift lens adapters that you can buy? That you can put on an old, like a tilt shift adapter for an F mount lens.
For an F mount lens.
That, Matt?
Yep. I haven't,
Yeah.
but we need to reach out and get one of those, don't we? And
Yeah,
have a
because
play.
I've been
I'd love to put my 200 to 400 on that.
Of course.
Rocky Spotter, first time on live stream, but been a follower for a while. I think the price is a typo. When searching, it shows up at 3909, and when you click on the lens, it changes to 4599. And yeah. Okay, yes, I get you. Digidirect is or they're doing a bait and switch. Who knows? I don't know. Let's call it a glitch in the matrix. That works for me. Now, Acelot. About the 24 to 120, I think I'll save my 24 to 120 f4S. It's so universal for travel, amateur street photography, but I think to get some fast prime for low light conditions. Yes, Acelot, you might be conversing with someone. I am Doctor. Great to have you back, I am Doctor. You were with us last week. Thank you. I would love to see the new 200mm f2 lighter than the Sigma's 200. Well, yeah, let's hope. I think the new Lauer f2, 200 f2 that's coming, I think that's coming for Z as well. I hope Nikon get one of those out soon because I think they will make a lot of money out of it. That's for sure. Yeah. David Shaw is saying, hi guys, good morning from England. What is the price in the UK? I don't know. Let me, do you want to Google that for me, Joe? Yes, do you mind? Just jump on Greys of Westminster and see what you can find. Shout out to our dear friends of Becky and Con from Greys of Westminster. Do hope you're well. If you're watching in the morning from the United Kingdom, we'd love to have you on the channel. We need to work that out. Time zones, they really suck, don't they? Time zones suck. Fel M is saying, I remember back in 2021 when Matt had like 15,000 followers. Happy to see how far his hard work and dedication has taken. Thank you very much, Fel. I really appreciate that. It's been a long journey, but it's been a very, very fun journey, and we get to have lots of memorable time with this awesome gear. Did you find the price there, Joe, in the UK?
I'm on their website, and I'm almost there.
Okay, you're close. Well, it is something like 8 a.m. in the morning there, so it's possible that it might even be even earlier, actually. They might not have updated their computers. Let me see what I can find. This is great live streaming, isn't it? While we're both Googling.
Fantastic.
Maybe someone can Google it for us as well. Price in UK of new Z 24 to 70 2.8. Yeah. And I pressed the wrong button at the end. And, I think I deleted the whole thing. I'm going to give up on that and keep talking to everybody. Everybody, do you have any more questions? Yeah, okay, who knows? We don't know at the moment. Any more? Oh, well, go to Nikon.UK. They probably have it there.
Done.
It's 6:30 in the morning. Good morning, David. It's early. Any more questions about this beautiful new lens before we change subject? Yes, David also can't find anything on Greys. Here it is. If you've just arrived on the stream, the brand new, very light, 675 grams, and I don't know how many ounces that is. I think that's like around a pound, something like that, just over a pound. Thank you, Rishi. The UK price. He's in the stream. It's £2,599. £2,599. Do you know the euro, seeing as you're there, Rishi, by any chance? For those who are in the European Union. Very exciting stuff. Can we expect any new cameras this year? I can only hope. We want as much new gear as we can possibly get. Fingers are very crossed. Fingers are crossed for new cameras. Absolutely. Thank you, John, for the price as well. And thank you, Rishi, very, very much. Joe, was there anything else you wanted to talk about with the 24? Was there anything else I wanted to talk about with the 24 to the new 24?
Go to my notes.
Go to your notes.
I was typing away notes while you were writing, but we've almost covered everything. While I was watching.
That's how good we are. Truly professional. I do have something else I want to talk about. I want to show you what it looks like here.
I do have a question.
You can go next. All right, go. You go.
All right, sorry. I was excited. What's with the lens
Be
hood?
excited.
Show me the lens hood. There was something that
Guess
was
what?
there was like a gap
You've
or
asked.
something like that.
Oh no, here it is. That's lucky. There's the lens hood, and it has a
Nikon are
window
going to be
and a
upset that you broke it.
I didn't break it. It's a little sliding door, so that when you have it on, the whole idea is, Joe. Let me show you what this is all about. You have it on you have it on the front of your camera, and you have a little circular polarizer or whatever, and you can put your finger in there and you can turn it. And you've just disappeared again, but you'll come back. We know you'll come back.
Yep.
So that's what. See how my finger's going up through there.
Yes.
So it's literally so you can turn filters, NDs or what are those other
with
ones?
the lens hood on.
Yeah, without having to take the lens
polarizing
hood off.
filters.
Or,
The circular
polarized.
polarizers.
That's it. So that's what that's for. And look, it's really useful. They have it in the new PZ as well, and of course that's kind of video. I think that's sort of a more of a video thing because they had it in the new PZ lens as well. Boris has given us the Euro German pricing, which is €2,899. So there it is, €2,899. And Rishi, where'd he go? I had him here. He's gone. Did we just get a million comments in?
Good morning from Hamburg. As well.
Oh, there it is. Yes. And there it is in the UK pricing from Rishi. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Yes, good morning from Hamburg, Germany. Well, as good as it may be, €2,899 in Germany is too much. So, Jens, is that how we pronounce it? Jens or Jens? Mayer is not happy with the price. Fair enough. That is your prerogative. Absolutely. We've got Michael. Could Nikon ever make a 16-bit photo raw capability for the Z92, Z82, even if it was... Look, it's a really interesting question that I've talked about on and off over the years, and half of me says we almost don't need it, and then half of me says why not, because the sensors are actually capable of it. What it does is it increases the freeways, the data that has to travel around a lot. But I agree, let's just have it as single shot, and then it doesn't matter about the freeways anymore. So file sizes would be very large, but again, for people like me who shoot street, I'm not a birder where I take, I don't know, what is it, Joe? We might take 2,000 photos in 3 minutes.
3, 4, 5,000 photos in a day.
Yeah, whereas I go out and I'll shoot 300 or 400 sort of thing. So I'd be very happy to have it happen. I think it's possible, and maybe in order to make new cameras attractive, it'll come. That's all I can think of. It certainly won't come as a firmware update, I don't believe. Okay, David, thank you for joining us. David's heading off to work.
Thanks, David.
Yep. See you, David. James is saying, yes, better in many ways, different number of groups and completely redesigned, and also does not extend it internally, zooms all of the things are great, and I'm probably going to sell my old one. Yes. Look, these are real updates, real advantages. I'm yet to have found any disadvantages of this new lens. And some people might say it's just simply the price, like who knows. 16-bit is 4 times as good as 14-bit, says Roy. Okay, no worries. Jens is saying correctly pronounced. Good. Hopefully it was that one. I love my original 24 to 72.8, and the picture quality is also crazy. It's true. It's true that it's already magnificent, and what's amazing is that somehow this is better. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, the proof is in the pudding, and we've seen the images. They're pretty spectacular. Yeah.
Is this something,
James is saying?
Is this on your shopping list, Matt? I mean, I know that you mostly shoot with primes. Is it something that look, if you didn't have the 24 to 70, obviously you're going to rush out and get something like this.
Rush.
But
I wouldn't be here. I'd be going.
Yeah, but is it?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Yeah, I wouldn't keep both. I would strongly consider upgrading
Yeah.
because I've said for years, and I like to put my money where my mouth is. I've said for years that I'm not a fan of telescoping lenses, and
Yeah.
I think this is the only one of the Trinity because the 14 to 24 and the 70 to 200 are all enclosed. So this would do that, and it is something like when I'm shooting and it's raining and I'm using one of these types of lenses. I am cleaning, I am always aware of just trying to get moisture off them before I put them back in and so on, because I don't mind shooting in pretty bad weather. So I'm not talking a light sprinkle here. I'm talking bad weather. So yes, I would consider it, and like the image quality is outstanding. It's
Yep.
like I can see it for myself. Like to be able to look into the sun, and I know I keep repeating the same things over and over again. To be able to look in the sun, and there was a shot that I actually wanted to show everybody, which I think is even more profound. And I was going to talk a little bit about here Lucia just before we go to that shot. This is the wonderful Lucia who helps me on my shoots, and this is the 24 megapixel sensor, 3200 ISO, 30 mil, f2.8, 1/50th of a second handheld. There's no light here, where like so little light. There's more light coming up from those that light on the ground, and it's just a great result. Now we're at 3200, we're at 1/50th of a second, so we're pushing the envelope here. That's pixel for pixel, fabulous. Really happy with it. But the image I wanted to show, like another one, like look, this one, which you'll see in 20 seconds, Joe, is the looking into the sun, a beautiful shadow cast, amazing textures on the ground, and just like I've always liked to use the sun. When I first started shooting, was like people would say to you, never look into the sun, never shoot into the sun. That's incorrect photography, and I've always shot into the sun. And to be able to do something like this, and it's this clean, like all of this stuff is this clean and this sharp and this bright. It's just, has that image come through to you yet, Joe?
Yeah, it's the seat that you're talking about. That was the one that you
Yes.
alluded to earlier. That you had the Hasselblad to be able to achieve this type of fidelity.
That's right. And just for it to be able to give you that sort of level of rendition. And we are at 14-bit, and I am shooting in high efficiency star as well. Sorry, I'm just looking for another image. Where's it? Oh, here it is. There it is.
Yep.
Now, the reason I pull this image out is, and there it is, pixel for pixel. Oh my God, you can do it. 50, 100%. We've got wire fence on wire fence on wire fence here, and this is where you're most likely to see purple fringing. There are so many possibilities where we could have it occurring. Now, right now we're pixel for pixel. If we go right in there and look really hard, maybe we'll see a little bit at like 400 or 800%. But at 100%, it's just not there. And this is like the hardest thing one of the hardest things that we could throw at this camera. And this is the only bit of lens flare right here in the middle there. That's it. So again, like if I was shooting this 10 years ago, this would be full of purple and full of flare and full of ghosting within the lens. So, because the other thing that's happening here that you don't realize is some lenses, you look into the sun and the lens loses contrast essentially. And we call that kind of ghosting, right? It loses contrast. We don't lose any contrast. So we can shoot like this and we're not penalized for it. And I love that because I've always loved shooting into the sun. So yeah, it's just amazing. It's just an amazing tool. That's all I can continue to say. So to answer your question, I think I've just convinced myself. The answer is yes. I would like to get this lens.
Yep. Yeah. Look,
because you can do that,
think I said,
and you're not really penalised for it.
Well, I think I said earlier, we've been together in this same location under the Balti Bridge, taking this same shot at around the same time of day when I had the 24 to 70. And before we got online to have this chat that we're having, I went and reviewed some of those images with the 24 to 70 in almost exactly the same conditions. And look, it's fair to say there was probably a 20-25% difference in the quality of suppressing the fringing, the ghosting. So and you would only see these differences in the extremes. You don't see any of these differences when you're in controlled lighting or when you're shooting under normal circumstances. But when you really need to have a lens perform well, I think that's where this lens is shining over the older lens, no doubt. So,
yeah. It's a great result. It's a great result. I wanted to say thank you to Thomas. Hi, Matt. He says, I'm very excited about this lens, this release of this lens. You are my go-to guy to get all the information. That is very kind. Thank you very much, Thomas. It's great to have you here this afternoon. It might be the morning for you. I'm not sure. James says, I sent a request for a quote from Nikon to trade in. I'm really hoping that they come back with a good number. Yeah, well, James, send me an email. Let me know. I'd love to know which country are you in? Because I don't think Nikon Australia does trade-ins, do they? Do we? I've never looked at that actually, but I haven't. It's not something that I've heard about.
No, a lot of the camera shops do though.
Yeah, that's right. Jens is saying, what I've seen so far, I love the picture quality of the new one. Yeah, it's a cracker. There's no question it's a cracker. Yes, it has a bit of a cracker sort of price to go with it. Yeah, okay. So James is telling us, because I've been live streaming since the worldwide announcement that Rishi has a video showing the focus improvements. So that will be actually showing the speed at which it changes. So thank you, Rishi, for doing that side. Between us, we carry the load. Daniela
asks, would it be a little too much for the Z7 II?
Daniel asked, would it be too much?
Yeah, I mean.
Too much? Not at all. No, the Z7 has one of the Z7 and the Z7 II has one of the best sensors you can possibly get. It's up there at the same quality as the Z8 and Z9. It actually has a smidge more dynamic range than the Z9 and Z8. It's a perfect companion for your Z7 II. Absolutely perfect. What do you shoot, Daniel? Let us know in the comments. What do you shoot with your Z7 II?
But there's no reason why you wouldn't even put it on a Z5 or a Z5 II if you've already got the
all
body
of them. Any of them.
Yep. They're all
going to be brilliant on all of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
James said that he's in New Jersey, out in New York, and Nikon USA has a trade-in program, so that's good to know. That's very cool. Well, there it is, the worldwide announcement of the very first. Joe, this is the very first version 2 lens for Z-mount. We are here at a very exciting and a first moment. Something I forgot to put in my video, that this is yet another first. Maybe not a very, not at the highest end level of firsts, but still a first. Nonetheless, the first lens to have a V2 by the side of it. We know that, for example, Sony has some V2s in there. Trinity has happened. So it kind of makes sense that Nikon are doing the same thing. They started getting their V2s out a couple of years ago. So the timing is of a similar nature. Please let us know any more questions about the 24-70. Let us know in the bottom, in the comments. We will talk very briefly about some other news. Very, very briefly. Because, I need a cup of tea, I think, don't we? Don't we, Joe? Do we need a cup of tea? Indeed. I need a cup of tea. No, I'm good. The first thing I wanted to talk about was, has everybody seen and heard what Sigma did this week? And there it is on your screens. The Mental as Anything, that's the name of a band here in Australia, actually. It's probably not politically correct in this day and age, but they're still a band, still today. Anyway... Sigma 200mm f2. Bobby, who's often here on the live stream, has a review. Go check it out. Everybody seems to think this is a bananas lens. Awesome. And it's currently for L and E mount, not for Z. This is why we'd like to see a Nikon 200 f2Z, or Joe, your camera's gone off, or the Lauer. Can't wait to see the Lauer come out as well. Two exciting things. And then another thing that happened this week, of course, besides the 24-70 2.8 S2, is the new Ricoh The new Rico, and here's the whole Rico. I don't know why I'm saying it like the guy who's what's that? He's in what's that movie? Starship Troopers. He's called Rico. I can't. Man, this website doesn't work properly. Anyway, there's a new camera. The GR4 is out. It's got lots of cool stuff. Has anybody used that camera? Any variants of that camera in the past? You can see it up here on the screen at the moment. There it is, the GR4. We're going to open their little web page, and they've got a lot of gritty shots in here. What looks like Japan, I think. I think this is that would be Japan for sure. Certainly, they're certainly making it look like film. In all, there's a lot of grain in these images. What people love about this camera, I believe, is its compact size. It's very small. It's a true pocket camera that you can actually slide in your pocket, unlike the recently released Sony RX1 R3. Geez, that's hard to say, that one, where it's actually got a lens that sticks out. This lens goes in.
So is the Ricoh an APS-C sensor or full frame? What is it?
Yes, it is. Let's go have a quick look at the specifications. There they are there. It is... it's a 25 megapixel CMOS. Yes, it looks APS-C. Basically, it's a 23 by 15 millimeter. It has an equivalent 35 mil lens with an f2.8 to f16. Yeah, and look, people love it because of the type of color that comes out of it, and it's truly pocketable. One thing I don't know is the price of it, but I think here it's around 2,000. In the US, it's close to 1,000, 1,200. Off the top of my head, I could be completely wrong about that. That's the news from this week. On top of course, the 24-70 2.8 S2. Joe, we're very pumped to see these new lenses, new lens coming out, and I think we're both, getting the cogs going, aren't we? How do we make this work? Will Mark trade terrible. My old one in? He might, or will I give it to the kids? Which way? Well, they've already got great lenses.
Will we do a good deal for two of them and all that type of stuff? Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice. Oh, I like your thinking.
Yep.
I like your thinking.
Yep.
That's very, very good. All right, everybody. Well, it's been a poll. Yeah, let's do a poll. What do you want to do a poll about? Are people going to get it?
Yeah, who's going to buy one? And then what we can do is we can go to, like, if there's 12 people that say yes, we'll all put in money together. And try buy in bulk.
I like your thinking. Here I was thinking it was for the sake of data, but it's actually for the sake of commerce. I get it. So the poll is, are you going to buy the new 24-70 f2. I tell you, I've written that so many times in the titles of my video. Okay. And look, we'll hang around for another few minutes so we can get a bit of a response to the poll.
Yep.
Why not? You're going to fill for a second, aren't you, Joe?
I am because there should be some other questions in there which
what's the other question?
I'll wait for it to drop in price in 6 months' time. And there should be I already own something or don't have a use case for. What other things are you going to put in the poll? I don't know.
The one I already have is awesome enough.
Yeah, that's right.
One is awesome. All right, we can only have 4 things. Yep. That's all they let us do.
Really? Because the fifth one was I'm going to sell all of my other brand. I was going to say a brand name there.
Yeah.
Sell my other brand gear so I could get into the Nikon system to own this lens. There you go.
Or it's I only shoot primes. That was the other one that I was going to suggest you could. Anyway, I'm going to put here in the stream. There is the link to that poll. It's just go to posts, open it in a second window. Otherwise, you'll close this window. Get your votes flying in. We can quickly get a vibe on who's interested. Sorry, that should have said, Matt, I would like to reach out to you offline about printing large prints. Sure, James, no worries. Absolutely. Jump to the more button on this page, and there's email links there. So John is going to keep his original as a backup. Yeah. RGB TV said what I said, that I'm a committed Prime user. Yeah. I'm polygamous, but only with primes, not with zooms. You know, I hear you. I hear it. Roy is saying he would like very much an update to the 300 f2. Yeah, I don't know anything about the 300 f2, but I'm excited already. Tell me more. And actually, before we go on any further, last week, Joe, we had a poll, and you know how I love polls. And last week, the poll was, do you buy and use presets? Joe, do you buy and use presets?
No, I don't, because
Okay.
I like to make my own presets.
Yes.
So
there you go.
And the only time I really make my own presets is when I'm editing a lot of photos that are in the same environment. So if I've taken, 600 shots at a speed skating event, and the lighting's all the same, and that's when I'll make a preset just to start the editing flow and make it much faster. So
Joe, what do you think? What do you think the outcome of the poll was? How many people said yes, I use them, and how many said no? And you've got 10 seconds to answer, otherwise you're going to see it on your screen.
I'll say 28% said yes. Am I close?
Yeah, sort of. 12% said yes, 88% said no, and there were almost 600 votes. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty large number of votes. I'd like to give everyone a round of applause for getting involved. Thank you. We love people getting involved. That's awesome. Please get involved with the next poll. That's good too. So yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And here we are. We've already got 20 votes, Joe, on the lens. What do you think the outcome is there? It's hard because there's four. There's four. Let me just tell you, it's 20% saying 28%. Yes, 35%.
20% yes.
Yeah, already. 40% saying I'll just wait for the price to drop a little. So essentially 60% of people are saying
60%.
Yeah, I'm interested. That's great. That means they've hit a winner, I would say. So good on you, Nikon, and for bringing, from my perspective, a genuine upgrade that has lots of real world useful stuff within this upgrade, which I think is an absolutely wonderful place for us to say so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen tonight, for you and you and you and you and you. Goodbye. You going to sing with me, Joe? No, I won't put you through that. I won't put anybody through that. I would like to thank everybody for being in the live stream. Thank you so much for this very special episode of the launch of the 24-70 2.8S2. Joe, I'd like to thank you for being here in the hot seat. And yes, and as Craig is saying, everybody please hit the like button. Smash away now. Quick smash on it. It really does help us a great deal. It helps the episode get out there. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again next week. It's been awesome. And there's always cool stuff coming. All right. Thanks, Joe.
No worries. Thanks, Matt. See you, everyone.